Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tangentville with Monsieur Truax. Today I'm going to discuss some idiosyncrasies of the French language that I've noticed during this shutdown. I've been talking quite frequently with my French friends lately. They've been concerned about the coronavirus, they've been checking in with me and things like that. And so I've noticed some things that I say when I'm speaking French that are not apparent when I'm teaching French. So one of the first things I want to tell you about is the word way. So like when I've taught you guys how to say yes, we've said oui, O-U-I, meaning yes. But in a lot of French conversations, you don't say oui, you say oui. And oui is kind of like yeah. So it's like a lazy way of saying oui. And that's something I never really thought about so much until I started talking again this week and thinking of different things to say in these videos. Another couple of things that have come up that have been very frequent have been the use of d'accord and donc. So d'accord means okay or of agreement. It literally means of agreement. And one of my favorite words, d'accord, it really is, not only because of its usefulness of saying d'accord, but also because of the way it comes from to us from. Where the word d'accord comes from is the word accorder, which comes from to chord. And those chords, those are the strings of a stringed instrument. And when you are according your stringed instrument, that means you're getting all the strings to agree. So if you've ever used a stringed instrument or something like that, you know you press on the one string is tuned to a certain note, and then you press a part on the fret for the next string, and you'll try to get those two tones to be the same, you know, within an octave of each other, and that's called tuning your instrument. And so when you accorde, that means you're getting all your strings lined up so they kind of agree with each other. So I really like that imagery in that word, d'accord. But anyway, that's a word that is said quite frequently in French conversations that maybe isn't even taught in the way that I teach or in normal lessons. The prevalence of the word d'accord might not be put into value. Another one is donc, and donc means therefore. Again, it's something that doesn't come up a whole lot in the way I teach or in lessons, but it's very, very common. In English, we say so. So anyway, there was this blah, 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 blah. So what I was talking about was, so there's this so in there, and I just said it by accident, not even meaning to, that we use as almost a placeholder, as like, I'm going to start a sentence kind of thing. So. And that's what donc is for as well. In French, they use donc a lot. And I find myself using that too when I'm speaking with native speakers like I have been the past few weeks. But then there's one sort of tick that I picked up when I was originally learning how to speak French. And I've noticed that even in these native speaker conversations that I've been having recently, I haven't been using that. And that's the word quoi. Now, when I first started learning French, everybody dropped quas everywhere. And you know quoi, it's up on my question word board and stuff like that. It means what. But French people use it like we would use like. Like, you know, this thing that's like this big, and it's like a thing that you use like for doing stuff. Like, that's how French people used quoi, at least when I was first in France learning the language. And I knew that this is one of those things, there are people that will use like a lot. There are people that use so a lot. And this is one of those situations where there's some people that overuse it and some people that underuse it. Well, there's no underusing of it. It's not using it at all, come to think of it. But I did know some people that would overuse qua. And so I kind of picked up this qua as a filler, like I'm thinking of what I'm going to say next, so I'm going to use qua, or I don't know exactly how to circumlocute this idea that I'm trying to present, so I'll use qua. So I did that a lot when I first started learning French, and then after all these years of teaching it and I guess getting out of the immersion of being with people that use qua all the time, I've slipped out of using it at all. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is something I've found myself saying a lot, and that is tout à fait. Tout à fait. Which means all of fact as it translates on the board that I just showed you. But it really kind of means like absolutely. And I know why I say this now. It's because I say absolutely all the time. Like absolutely. That's one of my things. And so I have transferred that linguistically to tout à fait, which is interesting because there is an absolutely in French, which is absolument. You know that MENT is the LY in French. And so there's this word absolument. So there must be a nuance of meaning that is intrinsic to my mind that differentiates tout à fait and absolument. So those are just some observations I've noticed this week from my personal lexicon as I'm speaking French with French friends from time to time. I hope you're having a good week. Feel free to leave me any comments you wish, and I will talk to you next time. À bientôt.